Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 2 of AttorneyAndrea. Get your pen and paper out or legal pad because today we're going to be going over key tactics and tips to getting into your dream law school. We're starting here because obviously this is the starting point of your journey to becoming an attorney. But again, we are going to get into everything on this channel. Law school success, what it's like to work as an attorney, how to dress the part, how to deal with the stress. And we are also going to have guest attorneys from different legal backgrounds, from entertainment to criminal law right here, and so much more. But let's backtrack and jump into today's topic, tips to getting into your dream law school. I'll start by saying getting into any graduate school or professional school is a process, which most of the time requires completing a lengthy application. Part of the application often includes taking an admissions exam. Most law schools require the applicants take the law school admissions test, more commonly known as the LSAT. LSAT scores, they range from anywhere between a 120 and a 180. However, the majority of schools require around a 154, while Ivy League schools require much higher scores, closer to a 170. Here it is, tip 1. Take an LSAT prep course. I highly recommend that you prep for the LSAT in one of two ways. With either method, you should first start by doing some dry run practice tests, not more than 1 or 2. Just take the test to get an idea of where you are without any studying. I did this my senior year of college. For the first method, you then do some research and you find out what LSAT prep courses are available in your area. Some courses are remote, some offer in-person classes, so try to find a class with good reviews that works for your schedule, but also provides lessons in the format that works for your learning style. That's the most important thing. I took Blueprint in Los Angeles and I really enjoyed it. The course improved my score about 9 points, which made a big difference in the ranking of the schools that I could apply to comfortably. Now, if you have a busy work schedule or you can't afford a prep course, no fear, because the second way you can prepare for your LSAT is to buy a bunch of prep books with practice questions and purchase maybe 15 or to 30 full practice exams. Make a schedule that you can stick to and do at least 30 practice questions every single day. Then build days in your schedule to take the real practice exams. I say this because I have friends who prepared for the LSAT and did well solely by doing practice tests and taking practice exams for about 5 to 6 months before registering and taking the real LSAT. Practice really makes perfect when it comes to law school. The best way to study is to actually take the practice exams. And here, the key though, is for the ones that you miss, you must read the answer explanations. This is key.
Major key.
Your memory is actually stronger when we learn why we missed what we missed. Also, your LSAT score determines how much money you can get in scholarship from your school. So this is a big deal. But don't worry too much. You can retake the LSAT if you don't do as well as you like the first time around. Whew, okay, that was a long one. Moving right along to tip number 2. Consider taking the GRE. So after spending all this time on tip 1, I have some news. In the past, there's been a bunch of controversy over the fairness of the LSAT. So more and more law schools are beginning to accept alternative admissions tests, mainly the GRE. So now on this one, you definitely have to do your research and make sure you look into the admission requirements for the schools that you're considering applying to. If you aren't sure, just call the law school's admission office and ask if they accept the GRE. I never took the GRE, but apparently it's a bit easier. So if your law school accepts it, I'd suggest taking it as well as the LSAT to see which test you score higher on and use that score as part of your law school admission application. Time for tip 3. Spend time on your personal statement. One of the things that admission officers really consider is your personal statement. It's one of the few areas that your personality can really shine through. So you need to put some time and some thought into it. Obviously, no typos, no grammatical issues, but even more importantly, be creative and be captivating. We all have unique stories to share, so don't be afraid to tell yours. Moving right along to the next tip, tip number 4. Think carefully about who you want to write letters of recommendations for you. Although rec letters seem fairly routine, law schools do consider not only who you select as your recommender, but what they say about you. So you want to choose someone who knows you well. They can highlight your skill set and tie that into why they need you in their law school. So it's not just like a family friend who will say nice things about you because you babysat their kids once or something. Get someone who will spend time on it and who knows you well. Okay, last tip. Last but not least, tip number 5. Don't apply late. So most law schools make admission decisions on a rolling basis. This just means that there are more seats in the class at the beginning of the admission process than at the end. So I suggest applying to your top choices earlier to have better odds of getting admitted. Okay, there you have it. Attorney Andrea's 5 tips to get into the law school of your dreams. Take a prep course for the LSAT. Consider taking the GRE instead. Give them one heck of a writing sample. Gather strong recommendation letters and apply early in the admission cycles. And that's all I have for you, but hit that subscribe because there is going to be so much more knowledge and tips and tricks on this channel. I don't know about tricks, but subscribe.